Hey, Lauren here. Sorry, we're starting about a minute late, I realize, but we are going to get right into it, and we're in a little bit of different space today. James is awake, so any kind of fun little music you hear, that's totally him. All right, so let's take a nice deep inhale, reach tall. As you exhale, blow out all the air, blow it all out from that tummy. Raise those hips up toward the ceiling, pressing those heels right into the ground. You're going to elongate the backs of those legs. You're firing up the back of the body. And from here, I want you to take those hands, walk them straight out in front of you. We're coming into a high plank position. I just have to scoot back, sorry about that. Coming into a high plank position. If you hate this plank on the toes, you can always drop down to the knees, make it a little bit of a modified plank. The focus, of course, is always squeezing the body. You want to pull the belly button into the spine. You want to tuck the glutes up under toward those shoulders. You really want to squeeze up through the inner thighs, the quads, the hamstrings. Make that body one flat board, nice and strong. Let's get some hip extensions here. Peel one leg up and away off the floor, lower back down, and switch sides. We take these slowly, really guiding with the heel. We're flexing that sneaker so the toes point down and the heel is lifted up. That leg is only coming about as high as that neck and spine. The rest of the body stays still, especially as we take one leg away. So a little test for balance here. And let's go ahead, hold that plank position, hold. Body should be nice and warm by now. We're still squeezing everything in that midsection, right? From here, let's take the hips, lift them up to the ceiling, and we're going to come right back into that high plank position. You're using that belly button, pulling it right in toward the back, to get those hips lifted up to the sky, and then to rest that midsection so it's parallel to the ground. Again, you can always come to the knees for this. I would extend through the back of the legs, then give that lift, lower back down, and rock forward on those hands. Or you can join me on those toes whole time. We're not here too long. We'll do a little bit more in supine position today, so where we're on that back, belly up. Good. Pull those abs in to get those hips high. You have two more like this. Adding on, we're going to take one hand away. We're going to tap the opposite shin. So lift the hips, bring that hand to that shin, lower back down, and switch sides. Good. Still using that navel, still keeping those palms right underneath the shoulder. So when we take that hand away, again, those stabilizers are really kicking into high gear, because that body is unstable. When we're in a tripod position, usually we want to have a limb in the middle, but we've taken that away. We're keeping that arm to the outside still. One more each way. And I want you to hold that plank position. Let's hover. We're going to drop that torso toward the ground, tap the elbows into your body, and press away. So we're in a triceps push-up, down and lift. Again, you can always come down to those knees. Just focus on the upper body here. You really want those elbows to brush right against that body. Good, lower down and press away. Give me two more just like that. We're going to come down one more time. I want you to sweep through. Give a stretch for the abs here. Lifting through those palms, relax the shoulders, down and away from the ears, squeezing the glutes. Let's drop to those knees, sit back on those heels real quick. Give a stretch for that upper body. Nice work. And let's come back to a high plank. So I promised last week that we were going to get a little bit harder today, a little more challenging. I want to target a little bit more of those shoulders. So from here, again, knees or toes, I want you to drop down to a forearm plank, and then press back up to that high plank. Try and minimize any kind of hip shaking, because they do want to rotate as you take that arm away. We're not here too long. You feel that nice tug. It feels really good right around here, right? Take one more down so you're on those forearms, and we're going to take those hips, rotating that midsection, dropping one down toward the ground, and pulling back to center. Rotate, twisting through that midsection, trying to keep those shoulders nice and stable, immobile. Again, knees or toes. Up to you. You're still working that area, working just outside that navel. Gonna give me a couple more each direction. Big exhale as we come back to the center with that belly button. And let's hold that plank. Hold, hold. Hold 3. Hold 2. Go ahead, sit back on those heels one last time. A little bit deeper stretch, reaching with that upper body and pressing those glutes toward those sneakers. Before we get onto that back, let's come onto those knees. I'm just going to face sideways. I'd like you to pick a side, any side. Take that hand, bring it right down toward the floor. Extend that opposite leg out. I want you to flex that sneaker so that that heel is 90 degrees. Leading with the outside of that foot, we're just going to give little lifts and lowers. I want that leg to stay about perpendicular to the rest of that body and parallel to that floor. Throwing a little mathier way today. Let's go 3 more this side. 2. Point the toes away. Tiny circles toward me. We have 4 of these. And take 4 to the back. They're nice and small, about golf ball sized. Keeping the rest of the body nice and still. This time I want you to take that hip. We're going to flex toward the body. Point the toes, sweep away, so you're extending. So a little bit of flexion for the hip and a little bit of extension. 2 more. Belly button in toward the body. And go ahead, take that leg, draw it down. Let's go ahead, sit on those heels, shift all that weight to that working side real quick. It's a good stretch. And let's go ahead, roll down onto that back. Nice and slowly, 1 vertebrae at a time, of course. You're that pearl necklace dropping down onto a dresser. So nice and easy as we come down. On your next exhale, I want you to take those shoulders, lift them up and away from the floor. Tuck the chin into the chest, draw the knees toward the shoulders. Nice right angle behind those knees and with those hips. We're going to take those legs, lifting them straight up. Push the heels together. As you do this, we're not just doing an ab exercise. We're also targeting those inner thighs. Listen, it's really easy to cheat on this exercise, but why would you do that to yourself? So I want you to really focus on pushing each inner thigh toward one another. Kind of imagine that you have a spring in between the 2 legs and you're trying to keep it there. You're trying to smush it as much as you can. You're really going to fire up those adductor muscles. So with those eyes right toward that belly, heels together, inner thighs pressing. They should be sort of shaking by this time. I want you to take those legs, lower them down toward the floor, keeping that belly button pushed to the spine pushed to the back, and draw those feet back in to start. Lowering down and drawing those legs back in. If you can, get those toes all the way up to the ceiling. You get a bonus hamstring stretch as those legs come in. It's a small stretch, but still there. Let's go 2 more. You get a little alphabet lesson today too. And let's take 1 knee, draw it in toward the chest, extending that opposite leg away. You can hold on to the outside of that knee with that same side. Opposite hand comes on the inside of that ankle. And you're just going to switch these legs nice and quickly. Again, they're controlled, which means that the rest of that body staying pretty motionless. Belly button still pulled to the spine. Shoulders still lifted away, not touching that floor. Good. And the lower that those legs go, as you extend that leg, the harder that tummy is going to work. We got 4 more. 3 each side. And with those shoulders still lifted, go ahead, take those legs, draw them up, and lower them down. Bring those hands either out to the side or reach straight up overhead. We're holding here. Hold. Breathe. And go ahead, collapse down. Give a little shake for the spine. Nice work. While we're still down here, let's go ahead, plant those feet down firmly into the ground. With the glutes, we're squeezing them, making them nice and tight. Imagine that you're holding a penny or pencil right in between those butt cheeks. And just as slowly as you came down, I want you to take those hips and lift that lower spine, mid-spine, upper spine, up and away from the floor, coming into that bridge position. This is another of my favorite exercises. Also one you can almost do just about anywhere. And nice and easy, we're going to roll down. Keep that butt up off the floor. We're still squeezing through the glutes. And go ahead, press those hips up once again. So for now, you should feel this almost only in the glute area. If you feel it a little bit more in the hamstrings, lower yourself down, squeeze the glutes, keep them contracted, and push up once again. So we're never letting that contraction in the back of that body go. And let's take that right leg, reach it straight up toward the ceiling. We're going to lower the hips down a little quicker and press tall. Lower down and lift. This time, you'll feel it in that left hamstring. Lower and press. Again, still trying to keep the rest of that body nice and motionless. Give me 2 more. And let's hold at the top. Press that left heel down. This time I want you to come to the ball of that left foot. Give a little higher lift. Oh my God, did you feel that? Did you feel that in the back of that body? Take that right leg, we're going to lower down and flex at that hip. Lower down and flex. You have 2 more like this. With that right leg, we're going to meet that left leg, so bend at that knee. Keep that heel lifted of that right foot. Same with the left still. Hold 3, hold 2. Go ahead, take that right heel, drop it down. Left leg, look straight up towards the ceiling. We're lowering those hips and pressing tall. Lower down and lift. Trying to keep that left leg nice and motionless. Good, lower and squeeze. You have 2 more. And we're going to keep that right leg pressed to the ground, that right foot, lift that heel. Again, you get that little bonus hamstring action with that right leg. Take that left leg for that hip extension and then flexion. Lower, squeeze. Good. Still squeezing through those glutes, right? You're still tightening the back of that body. You have 2 more. Let's go ahead, place both heels down. Come into that bridge position. Still focusing on squeezing those glutes. You have 3 breaths here. 2. And nice and easy, go ahead and roll all the way down, 1 little back bone at a time. Awesome job. Let's go ahead and roll back over to that side. Actually, you know what? I fibbed. Let's come all the way to the tummy. We'll do a little swim action for the low back and a little bit of some lat work. So I want you to take that belly button, and rather than pulling it towards the spine, I want you to actively push it down into the ground. Those legs are coming up and away from the floor, so no kneecaps and no thighs are touching the ground. I want you to make small flutters with those feet. Imagine that you're gliding through that water. With that upper body, I want you to pump in opposition with those legs. So still firmly pressing that center down. Eyes should be a couple inches ahead of you. Head is right in line with that neck and spine. And go ahead, stop those arms, stop those legs. Keep those legs still lifted above that ground, reaching straight out. I want you to swim around, draw the elbows into the spine, lower that chest down, reach, and swim back around. As that chest lifts off the floor, really squeeze those elbows toward the midline. Try and get them right into that spine. You should feel about that mid to upper back. Give a little pinch. 2 more. Relax that upper body and go ahead and let the lower body collapse. Now we'll press up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side with that outer thigh. So coming to that kneeling position, take that other hand, drop it straight down, and that opposite leg comes out. Nice and fluid. Flexing through that heel, we're lifting and lowering. We're keeping everything else nice and still. We have about a minute to go here. Nice job. Give me 2 more. And let's point the toes away from the body, circles towards me. Nice and controlled. You're targeting that outer thigh, that piriformis. Such a big muscle and such an important muscle. 2 more. And reverse this. Circle to the back. Good. Give me 3 more. And we're going to flex and extend through that hip, draw that leg in, point the toes, sweep away. Coming in towards that chest and sweep away. Nice. We're not here too long. How about 2 more? And on that last one, let's go ahead and join that working leg with that standing leg. Shift all that weight to that working side. A good stretch here. And one last time, we'll finish off with a strong plank. So knees or toes, palms are right underneath those shoulders, squeezing everything in that body, holding here, final push. Head is right in line with neck and spine. Great work. Give me 4 more breaths, in and out. And relax onto those knees, sit back on those heels. Excellent job. Thank you so much for tuning in. Next week we're going to do this on Thursday, so a little bit of a game changer for next week, and then we'll go back to Fridays. Have a great weekend.